Hello, America. Welcome to the Junto Podcast, where we promote the practical applications of critical thinking and bold creativity. I'm your host, Edgar Mills. Thank you for joining us. Hello, America. Welcome back. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Today's a special episode, a unique episode. I got my friend Will on, and me and Will met through shooting. You just came out here to shoot, and we became buddies, and we got a lot of common interests. So I'm going to introduce you to Will Stevens. Give it a go, Will.
Yeah, my name is Will Stevens, and I don't know, been shooting for a minute, and I don't know, bought my first gun probably around early 20s as soon as I could, and been trying to get better. So eventually you meet more cool people, and found my way out here. So I've been shooting with Edgar for the last couple of years, off and on, and having a good time. And yeah, so we've become friends, and yeah,
that's it.
Blessed.
So I want to have Will on. Everybody, we were just talking about this. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got, some value to add to the conversation, whatever that conversation is. So I think today, broadly, we're going to talk about friendship, talk about faith a little bit. I'm going to talk about a little bit of business, entrepreneurship, and sort of small business type stuff.
I like it.
Yeah. So, let's start off with friendship.
Okay.
What's your broad philosophy on?
I have a couple strong opinions about it, because today you hear so much about brotherhood.
Yeah.
And, I can't help but think about that meme, brother, brother. And I do love brotherhood, and especially if you get into the faith aspect, that is a brotherhood as well, right?
For sure.
But I do think that there is a rarity today, unfortunately, of good friends, dear friends. And I think it's something that we need to work on. And all of us, I think we need to work on becoming a good friend. If you're going to have good friends, first you need to be a good friend.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I say loosely that you can't expect, specifically I was talking about respect, but you can't expect respect without giving respect.
Yes.
You can't expect loyal friendship without giving loyal friendship, I think. So my take on that, as a grown man, there's a handful of dudes in my life that I've known for 40 years or so, and we're friends.
Yep.
But we live in different places, and we're grown.
Yep.
And we got grandkids, and so friendship doesn't necessarily mean you guys hang out every single weekend or something like that. You know what I mean? I think it's more about kind of being there if as needed.
Yes.
As a sounding board or...
Yep. To me, friendship is intentional.
Intentional, yes.
Yeah, that's the thing I think that kind of separates friendship from brotherhood. So if you think about a brotherhood, these are people that whatever group you're in, right?
Yeah.
At your I don't want to even steal the term band of brothers, but whatever you guys labor in, you got it.
There's a common pool.
100%. You got it. You got a bunch of buddies at the gym, right?
Yeah.
Buddies and brothers at the gym, and, and then you might have a group you go out and shoot with, right? But to me, the friendship thing requires intentionality, and also too, a level of care and empathy, because there's also, you're going to get into, hey, I care enough to ask, how are you doing? How's the family doing? You might not get into that with certain circles of buddies and brothers.
There's levels,
and also too, I also think when I think of like you said, concentric circles, right?
Yep.
You get out of that tight friendship thing, and there are brothers that are not by choice, that are just part of that circle because you guys share the same circle. I think about this in the faith.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, the circle of faith, right? People at your church or people in your faith community, right? Most of them are not there by your choosing. they are in that circle by their choosing, right? And you have common interest. Obviously, you're united around a common cause, faith, right? You're united around that. Whether it be the gym, let's just say the gym, you're united around a common thing, right? We all live together, but you don't take the extra step of the intentionality, which would be that, the circles begin to get smaller.
Yeah. 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 So you got things that bring people together.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned some of the guys in my life that I know. Well, I mean, it was literally high school brought us together.
Yeah.
But that was not a common interest. That was a common requirement. But when we just stayed in touch over the years, and I still consider some of these guys like best friends.
Yeah.
Even though we rarely see each other.
Right.
Every 6 months or so, one of us will pop in on the other.
Now, let me say this, though. I got a good question for you.
Yeah.
If you found out that buddy, that friend, close friend, the one that might be, distance is a problem, right? If you found out that person came in town and didn't hit you up or didn't let you know, that would be.
I don't. So that happens plenty. In fact,
absolutely.
And I'll give you, for instance, on the occasion I go to Fort Bragg for a job.
Okay.
And I'll be up there for a couple of days and not hit up buddies because I'm there for a specific purpose.
Okay.
And
I get that.
And if I got time, I mean, so yeah, how good a friend are you? Will you make time? That's what people say. You make time.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is it, do I make time and go out and have dinner and a couple beers, or do I get back home to my grandkid?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, priorities.
And the same has happened here. There's been, hell, my cousin's been through without stopping in, and me and him are the best buddies,
Yeah.
And I don't expect it.
100%.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who lives in Florida, and every time he goes to Tennessee, he drives right past my exit. And I'll just be honest with you, I'm the type of extrovert where it kind of rubs me a little bit, and he might even listen to this. Yeah. But I understand where he's going. I understand he's going up to Tennessee to a cabin, but I'm always like, you drive right past my house, but I know he means nothing by it.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So now, and my wife and I talk about
By the way,
this.
we're cousins and friends.
Yeah.
Because you also have those family members.
Well, that's
like,
that's my cousin. That's
absolutely.
Yeah. We're probably more friends than we are cousins. And I mean, but yes, we are definitely cousins, but
yes,
we're almost exactly the same age, and we grew up together.
Yep. And
neither one of us had a brother.
Yep.
So, yeah. So my wife and I talk about, so there's levels of comfort, but then there's a level that transcends to where you don't have to do the obligatory things.
Yep.
And my wife we talk about this a lot, about sitting in silence.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
Man, we can drive for 2 hours without ever speaking a word, just holding hands.
You and your wife?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me and my wife can do that too. I thought you meant with.
But there's a time and I have friends like this where you can just be without having to keep a conversation going. Or tell them the joke.
That's a small group for me.
It's a small group.
It's a small group, yeah.
But that's where
it's a good one. That's a good. You got me thinking about people right now as you're saying that. Yeah.
So friendship. It's complex.
I would say that's a really interesting test of comfort when you can be on a road trip. I think about that because sometimes I work over in Athens, and me and my buddy, we won't talk the whole time for an hour and a half, all the way over there in Athens, all the way over there to Athens and back. So we just have that level of comfort.
Well, good. Is it comfort or is it discomfort?
For most of the time, I would say
it's comfort.
For most of the time, I would say it's comfort.
Yeah.
But I'm an extrovert, so it is hard for me. Because I never stop.
Nonstop. Always talking.
Yeah.
Nah, different levels of friendship, man. Everybody's got the whole spectrum in their life, I'm sure.
Yeah. I do think it is concentric circles, though.
So yeah,
I
sort
don't.
of.
I
There's
think the
levels.
kind of they close in,
Yeah, there's levels, but
and there are. I guess there are circles inside of that do kind of have overlap.
yeah, you can't order everything. So I'll give you, for instance, there's a guy that he was. Well, we were in the same company when I was a op sergeant. A B team op sergeant. He was on my B team, and we weren't buddies. We were colleagues and all that, and
Mhm.
friendly and told jokes at work, but we didn't. Years had gone past, and he put out a sort of a little distress signal. We were both already long out of the military, and he needed a dude. He happened to had been in Georgia at the time, and you're familiar, I'm sure. He was in Noonan, like down
Yeah.
south of Noonan,
Yeah.
but he put out a need, and so yeah, I'll be there. So
That's great.
we weren't best homies,
Sure.
but he needed a thing, and I was able to help with it. So
Would you say that was out of obligation or out of genuine empathy and care?
no, not obligation. I was in no way obligated, and
Absolutely.
he was even surprised that, like, oh man, thanks.
I can't help but think about that verse that says, "There is a friend who sticks closer than a brother."
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's good.
And so I consider him a friend.
Yeah.
But neither one of us would, if we were reading our list of best homies,
Absolutely.
neither one of us are on that for each other.
Absolutely.
So friendships, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Oh, it is. Yeah, there's a lot of.
Especially when you overlap it with sort of not obligation from faith, but just being what you know to be a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Help people when you can, I think.
If you can.
If you can.
When you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
And sometimes it ain't easy. Sometimes it ain't convenient. But if it is easy and convenient, by all means, do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are some people that will skip right over it.
Another thing is why are you doing it? Are you doing it to be seen, or is it one of those things where it requires that, because intentional friendships, one of the things for me I've noticed is it does take time. So I've got a long distance friend from Texas. He came out here and shot with us. And I know that when we sit down and we're going to have a phone conversation, it's going to be a minute. I mean, we're going to have, and I try to plan him out. I'm like, I can't always do it when I'm driving. I'll tell him if he calls me, I'll be like, I'm driving. I've only got a few minutes, and he'll be like, oh, well, we can catch up later. Cause when we do catch up, it's a long conversation, and we're going to hit on a little bit of everything in life. So,
yeah.
That's hard to juggle, by the way, in a certain aspect of my life, because he's in a different place.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have kids. He's not married. He's pretty independent, and I'm independent too, but I have a decent amount of time management. So
yeah. Anytime there's kids and just other things like that, well, for sure. The guy I would consider my very best friend, Timmy. We don't talk as much. He lives in North Carolina, and our conversations are like short, brief. Hey man, did you see this thing?
Yeah.
What about this? And we'll do that. All right, I love you, buddy. Boom.
Yep. I got one for you.
Yeah.
This is good. So the man who was my best friend and best friend in high school and best man at my wedding, we have just with our lives, we have kind of drifted apart, and there'll be times where we catch up. But in the last, I would say 2-3 years, out of adversity, I would say I have this sounds so weird, but I have who I would consider someone who has taken that role. And I'm in a different place in my life, right? And this is someone that I see a lot, and we have become best friends, and our wives, we go out, and I would consider him one of my best friends. He would definitely be, carrying my casket. And this friendship is one, I'm trying to think. It's like if you have that best friend that you've had since high school, that thing can kind of be on cruise control. Like you mentioned your buddy Timmy, right? I know me and my buddy Jay will pick it up in a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But right now, like, let's say you're only going to have so many people carry your casket, right? I think my brother will. And I hope I'm not planning on dying, but we all do, right? So I think about things like this, and I probably have 5 or 6, but I hate to say this. If you think about it though, sometimes people rotate out. If you have that group of 5, right? I always tell my kids, hey, you're going to have 3 really good friends, right? As you get older, people are going to rotate out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about out necessarily, but I think it's possible to have more than one best friend.
Me too.
There's not a best friend. I think that's a childhood
I agree
thing.
with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think it's just how good a friend. Yeah.
Hopefully we have people fighting for a place to carry our casket.
Yeah.
Because we have so many good friends.
Well, one of the unfortunate side effects of being in the Army is you get to choose that every time you deploy.
Man, I can't even wrap my brain around that.
I've had the same 6 for a long time.
Wow. Man. Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, friends. So, all right. That leads us into faith. So, what if you got heathen friends from childhood or the military or whatever? Godless, whore chasing, boozing. And you used to whore chase and booze with them.
Yep.
And then you found some Jesus and whatever and some stability in life, and they are still doing their thing. Can you still be friends?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely you can.
But the most important thing is who is encouraging who.
Right.
So
are you able to toe the line when you're out with your friend?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm at a place in my life, and you might be as well, where, the chasing women thing, you're not going to go participate in that.
Oh, that's
activity.
long gone. Yeah.
That's long gone. But go have a cigar? Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So in that situation, because I still have that situation for sure, but you just don't. I'm smart enough now to look 3 steps down the evening.
That's right.
and not put myself in a situation where I'd be blacked out drunk chasing women. So yeah, maturity and stuff like that takes over, but you can still have they didn't, their character didn't fundamentally change. They're still your friends. They were your friends because of whatever, even if it was just adversity and military stuff or whatever. So yeah, I think a lot of the secular types, I say that like I'm not, I love Jesus, but I wouldn't be described as a religious pillar of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of the secular dudes are non-believers or profess non-believers. I happen to think most atheists are full of shit.
Me too. I think most of them are Gnostic.
They like to cast upon you or Christians in general. Well, you're judging me. You're judgmental and this and that and the other. And as if,
I think Christian men need to be a lot stronger. So that way we can, instead of saying, I can't be around that. If you have
some self-discipline.
If you have, self-discipline, absolutely. And also strongly held convictions.
Yeah.
Your strongly held convictions should not have a problem.
Yeah. Right.
Like, and there are obviously exceptions. We all probably have friends that like, I don't need to be around alcohol. Right. And be like, okay, well, when I'm around this person, I won't have a beer or whatever, that kind of thing. But we need to have strong enough convictions of our own where we're not easily swayed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, are we even a man?
No, that's right. That's right. You got to be able to stand on your convictions, whatever they are. And
that's maturity too. That is an age thing.
No, that's right.
That is something that you don't have, unfortunately, usually in your 20s. I didn't have it in my 20s, and
I certainly didn't.
You don't even really know if I had it in my 30s.
In fact, in my 20s, I was probably the instigator of
Me
most
too.
of that action.
But I would say now that I'm stepping into my mid 40s, I am definitely, I have more strong conviction, and that my strong convictions, I would say, lead and guide me.
Yeah.
More than anything
So
else.
let me ask you this from because you're much deeper into the church stuff, lifestyle things.
Yep.
Would you say that there are pastors out there or deacons or whoever the leadership of whatever denomination who would stress that you should cut away from your non-religious friends or your heathenistic friends?
That's a good question.
Because I've encountered this before.
Yeah.
So never mind, I've been buddies with a dude for 40 years.
Right.
And he's a godless heathen.
Yeah.
You think your preacher would sway you to, like, if you can't show him the light, you should cut away?
I have never, except for minus one exception, most of the pastors in my life, and I have a lot of good pastors because I have, over the span of 25 years, or since I was 15, coming up on 30 years, I have played guitar and sang in churches and just helped with music in churches. And I have the pleasure of doing that now at the local church where I'm plugged in at. So over the years, I have literally been, shepherded by really great pastors, and they've seen the good and the bad of me. Yeah. Right. And I would say mostly no. I have not been encouraged to cut off those ties. I think if a pastor is really shepherding you well, I think he wants to come alongside and say, "Hey, what can I do?" Like, don't you think it's bad if someone is saying you have to cut all these ties?
No, I think it's bad. Yeah,
I do too. I think it's bad, and
wrong way.
And I also think that a good pastor or a good shepherd of your soul, right, is going to say, "Hey, how can we make you stronger so that way?"
Yeah.
But I don't know if cutting. Now, if you are literally out there chasing women with these people, a pastor is, I believe, obligated to say, "Hey, man, you need to probably change your ways."
Yeah, but that's you changing your ways.
Yeah. Also, too, it's actually, I think if it's just the pastor doing that, you've got a problem, because we have a couple really good Bible studies. I do this thing called Sheepdog Bible Study, and we do a Sheepdog Bible Study in Cartersville, and we have people from all different walks of life, and some of them have been out here shooting before. We have people from all different walks of life, and we'll go afterwards and get a cigar, and we'll go do different things. It's a Reformed Bible Study, so like we can go have a beer afterwards.
Yeah.
But it is not super judgmental. I mean, it's pretty. I think, and also too, it's not led by pastor. Yeah. It's peer led.
Yeah.
So it's challenging each man to step up and be stronger. By the way, not stronger and be like legalistic.
Yeah.
But stronger, like, if this is going to cause you to stumble, we need to make sure you're a little stronger.
Yeah. No, and that's good. I like that. And I think, without getting away from the genuine teachings of the Gospels and whatnot, I think that kind of almost like friend group, kind of, I guess, if it's peer led, right?
Why did Jesus go eat with sinners?
No, that's right.
Absolutely.
But I think most of the non-believer, or not believers, just the poo-poo, the people
just
who
use the word heathens. You're crazy
godless
heathens.
Yeah. I don't think they see all the nuance like that.
They don't.
I think they see everything as it's being judgmental.
They do.
And a part of that is you being a little secret guilt in there, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
But they always throw the judgment. It's all judgment. And at some point, we got to be judgmental on people at some point. But that's a different.
Has to be done in love.
That's a different lesson, though. Yeah,
has to be done. Which, by the way, it has to be done through friendship, because friendship is literally based upon love.
Yeah.
So if the key to friendship is love and empathy, empathy is a non-negotiable. So if it's out of love and empathy, then that's going to,
and that's right. And I think a lot of the heathens they don't see it, for some reason, don't see it as being genuine. Maybe from historic whatever, or maybe just from the way the media builds it up or whatever. But that's love and empathy. You just said it, love and empathy.
That's it.
And if I disagree with somebody's bizarre philosophy on life, it's not because I'm being judgmental.
Yep.
It's because I disagree, and I can disagree because I'm a grown up.
Yeah. If we can't show grace to someone in their walk, right? What? How were we not any different?
Exactly.
We've all been immature.
So I think the Christianity gets a bad rap from people who write everything off as you're just being judgmental and condemning my way of life, whatever that way of life is.
Yeah.
As opposed to
it also shuts down the conversation.
That's right. And I think that might be a tactic more than it is a genuine
concern. Yeah.
But they won't ever admit that. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Because I get ripped on because people who know me a long time, they know I was a savage. I was a savage. Man.
Before you were a grandpa.
Before I was a grandpa. Yeah, for sure. Absolute savage. And I don't know. I don't know if they think it's disingenuous or what. I don't know, man.
Well, you still have the savage inside of you, right?
Oh, I'm savage, all right.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Just in a different way.
That's called maturity.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, aging, whatever you want to call it, it's good.
Aging.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. Isn't it a good thing to realize your weaknesses? Because the older we get, I mean, like I said, I'm just, barely in my 40s. So the older I get, the most important thing I need to realize is like, I don't need to try to load up 3 plates and try to come over here and show off with these boys. That's going to hurt me for the whole week, and it's going to hurt me making money, and it's going to hurt me just with my job. That's stupid. But 20-year-old Will would do that all day.
Yeah.
That's maturity.
Yeah.
Is to be able to say, no, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that. It's not dumb for those guys, but it's dumb for this guy.
Well, it's probably dumb for those guys too.
Well,
yeah, man. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, I think. Especially if you choose to keep contact with all your old homies.
Yeah.
Because you love them. And
also, too, I will say, I think the brotherhood that you're talking about and I'm talking about, it's different in service. So there is definitely more of a, I don't know, there's a different kind of connection.
You're talking about military service?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean,
and I can't understand.
I do agree that type of hardship creates probably a little bit stronger bonds. Different bonds. I don't know if it's stronger, but different.
Different for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, if you think about my buddy is suffering, right? Well, we've suffered together. I need to suffer with him.
Yeah.
How many people actually go out and suffer together today?
Yeah, that's true. How many people go out and intentionally suffer?
Right. But that's the military. It is intentional. You intentionally do it. You don't have to be there. You didn't have to go do all that.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, you were there for your brother, but I mean, there is that bond that, I don't want to call it trauma, but that bond of suffering that you have together.
Yeah, sure.
So then when you see your brother suffering, you're like, man, I'm going to help my brother out. I'm going to help a homie.
Help a homie. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, you love them anyway.
Yes.
And hopefully they love you anyway. They do. I know they do, but the ball busting is still, that's a prominent feature around the OSS camp.
It is. I was actually just talking to my buddy yesterday after church, and he had been out here and shot, and he goes, "Oh, Edgar, man, there's a lot of ball busting. He does it." And I said, "I like that." And he was a police guy.
Oh, he gets an extra.
Well, and I don't think he necessarily liked that. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I said, I like that. I like that. But the thing I love about you, and a lot of people don't do this, is you are the same. Whether you're sitting down with headset on, or you see you out, or you're on the range, you are the same. You don't have different masks.
Yeah.
And you don't have a pose. And I I'll make a shameless plug. There's this thing called Wild at Heart. It's a great book by John Eldredge. And there's this thing that we do on once a month, Friday night. There's these awesome things called Wild at Heart fires. And you go and you bare your soul to other men, right? And what's said at the fire stays at the fire. And at that Wild at Heart fire, we talk about the pose, the mask. And what most people do when they stand up and they introduce themselves, they say, "Hi, my name is Will Stevens and I do this," right? So their identity, their pose, what they hide behind is their accolades, what they've done, right? Or their job, which is really just part of their mask.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one thing that is very, very common, especially in, I think, the tactical world. Dude, you're rolling your eyes right now because you know it's so true.
Yes.
And it drives me crazy. So, and I think when people see genuine, the good and the bad, like not built up layers of the onion, but they just see who you really are, you might rub some people the wrong way. But you've done it a few times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I tried to explain why. I tried to explain, of course, with my buddy that I was having a conversation with yesterday after church about you. And I said, he does it like this for that way. That's the reason why, because he wants people to be faster. Like that probably.
Well, and specifically for cops, it's dosed in with a lot of ball busting humor, but cops have to be better.
Yeah.
That is all there is to it.
Yeah.
And if he don't believe that, he's wrong. That's it.
Well, I think a lot of people get stuck, probably law enforcement, they get stuck and they get ingrained. And I'm not saying that this is wrong, by the way. There's a lawsuit attached to every bullet.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
So be better.
Yeah. And some of them might actually be having ongoing lawsuits right now.
Yeah.
Like things like that. You hear about this. And I do think fear is
that
very
lawsuit is never a result of skill. That lawsuit is never a result of skill. If anything, it's a result of lack of skill. There's no excuse not to come out and be a better technical shooter.
Yeah.
Decision making and all that's different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's training for that.
Right.
A technical shooter, a cop should be the best technical shooter on the block.
Yeah.
Yeah. No lawsuit is as a result of poor skill.
But also be able to manage that sliding scale, which we talk about,
That's
of speed and accuracy.
Yeah.
Discernment on the fly.
Judicious use of lethal force.
Yep.
There's the good, there's the clean shoot and there's the dirty shoot. But it ain't a result of skill. That's decision making. It's different.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, man. And that's a problem, I think, in the cop training world, is they always conflate all the stuff. So, shooting's just, I could go a whole career without ever shooting. Maybe.
Right.
Until you have to shoot someone.
Right.
And you don't choose that time. That time presents itself and you act accordingly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Skill. There's no excuse for a lack of skill. And decision making is very subjective.
Yeah.
Mechanical shooting is not.
Yeah. And there's also a ton of evidence now.
Tons.
Because we have so many body cam footage and everything. So you can actually dial it down and you can actually even say, hey, most of these encounters are up close. So that's going to be a speed thing.
Well, yeah, whatever. Right.
Whatever the data says.
But just like pro sports, right? You can watch the video later and instead of going, see, we were good because okay, I fumbled my reload.
Yeah.
I had my magazine in my hand backwards and I slammed it. And you can break it down for different reasons. I don't think a lot of them do that.
Yeah.
Or when you watch a cop unload a 17-round mag and his pistol's flopping around like a fish out of water.
The amount of videos out there right now, which is just data.
That's data.
It's data. The amount of data out there right now of people mag dumping into people and you see the bullets going everywhere but the person, it's insane.
There was one video down in Florida, man, like a cop dumped literal 17 rounds. 3 rounds hit the dude, and the dude was sitting static in a car. And 3 rounds hit the dude, and none of them were lethal. But you saw the body cam, you saw the gun just flopping away. Bow, 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 bow. And it was dark, and he had his white light on, and all the smoke from the gun. All you saw was smoke and a gun flopping.
That's horrible.
And the light just. He had zero control of his gun. That's a technical issue.
Yeah.
It can be fixed with technical remedies. That's not decision making. Now, the decision to draw and shoot the guy, that's decision making.
Yeah.
But once that decision's made, it's all just a technical.
Yeah, he was definitely reacting, not responding.
100%. Yeah.
That was a bad reaction.
And that's the way it is for cops. You have to react to, you can't just walk up to everybody on the street with your gun drawn.
Yeah. And the bad news is that guy's going to, that footage is going to be in every classroom for a long time of what not to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And it maybe even court, when,
man,
because, bad guys, man, there's greasy lawyers out there these days not, there have always been. I'm going to retract that statement.
Yeah.
There's always been greasy lawyers out there. But they'll try to spin that around.
Yeah.
And if I was a greasy lawyer, I say it all the time. First thing I want to do is see training records.
Yeah.
What qualifies you to be out on the street with a loaded firearm enforcing law?
Right.
And then they show you some bullshit GDOT or Georgia Post thing, and you're like,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Skill.
Those videos blow my mind when you start watching.
There's a million of them.
And there's some great ones. I mean, there's some where you were like,
on
wow.
YouTube has got just a treasure trove.
There's some where you look at it and you're like, man, incredible skill. And
there's a few.
There's a few, but it seems like there's more videos that are coming out of lack of skill.
I like that one recent, it made the rounds, man, where the cop, he's drinking coffee and he pulls up, takes a sip, puts his coffee up, gets out, goes to the trunk, pulls out his AR, jacks it. Pow!
Yeah.
Suspect down.
It was a bit of a distance, too.
Yeah, I don't know what the distance was. It was more than 50, I think. But
yeah.
The guy was calm as a cucumber, man.
That one and the interstate one where the guy takes the rifle and he's chasing after him. And he shoots across the interstate. And there's cars and he times it.
That was a good one, yeah.
That was mind-blowing.
Yeah, man. You can tell guys who have some skill or some training or some experience.
Yeah.
And then you can tell the ones who go into a homosexual panic immediately.
It's true.
And that's not what you want, man.
Yeah.
From me getting pulled over. Now, let me tell you what, when I get pulled over, I drive like a race car driver.
I don't
like driving anymore, so I just want to be where I'm going.
Mm.
When I get pulled over, man, I'm both hands not only on the steering whheel, but on the left side, so they can clearly see both hands.
Roll the windows down a little bit.
And I'm calm. Hey, man, yep, right on. Can I see your driver? Yes, I'm reaching my right hand to my dash.
Me too.
I don't mess around because I don't want some 23-year-old nervous, friggin' Serpico, whatever type blasting me.
Yeah.
Because he saw a gun. Because he may see a gun.
But I would say 99% of the, which I can't think the last time I've been pulled over. I'm sure it was within a year, but they're great. Smooth.
A lot. Yeah, mostly. But then there's always the one very arrogant. He's always out there.
Man, knock on wood. It's been a minute since I've had
I get that guy, usually.
Man.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because I look like an asshole.
Yeah, maybe you just drive way too fast.
Maybe I just drive way too fast.
Yeah.
I do. Been trying to ease that off too. Since I got grandkids.
I do think it's important what we were talking about. To be a good friend with empathy, intentional. And I also think even in business, I think that will gravitate the right type of customers, the right type of people. You treat people right. That's the most important thing.
I agree with that.
Because word of mouth is still the key for business. My dad, so I'm third or fourth generation, independent business owner. And, my dad is just he's a mobile welder kind of thing. And he, does, just welding. He's anonymous, redneck with a welding setup, right? And he always told me, always pounded into me growing up, Word of mouth, word of mouth, word of mouth. I've tried different things, son, but word of mouth is the best. And I've tried different advertisements too. I don't think you can beat a good reputation and word of mouth.
Well, I think you need the good reputation and word of mouth.
Yeah. I mean, if I was to get on Grok would, type me up some, beautiful plan on how to expand my business. But I'm not trying to get 5 employees. I just want to be able to provide for me and mine.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
So I 100% agree. And that's a philosophy I use. Now, again, I'm not overtly friendly.
Yeah.
But
and by the way, you cannot please everyone.
I am as advertised.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the skill is what matters.
It is. And knowledge too, skill and knowledge.
And knowledge and experience, all that.
Yep.
And I am relatable, even though I bust balls. And I talk about this sometimes on the podcast, when I'm talking about leadership or business stuff. And then I think to myself, well, I'm not exactly the template for success, so maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but you say that, but you are a very joyful guy. If once you get to know you, I mean, I could see someone saying, "Well, Edgar's a little gruff," but I actually think when you get when you look underneath the gruff, I think Edgar's got a lot of.
No one's ever discovered his joyful.
Man,
I agree, though.
You got a good.
I
smile,
love life, man.
Laugh. Yeah,
I love life. Yeah. Even through all the bull crap, never mind when you become a parent, right? And life changes.
Yeah.
But when you become a grandparent, it's a whole nother level
of joy. I imagine
and the joy bubbles out of you.
Can't wait.
My wife busts my chops all the time because she'll catch me on a little picture looking at my grandkids, looking all stupid. Yeah, I got joy. Of course I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy. I would like to grow. But not crazy. You know what I'm trying to do with the range and all, but
yeah. That's more legacy.
So I wonder, that's 100% what I want.
Yeah.
I don't even want to grow beyond that.
That's right.
I want to grow enough that my kids and grandkids have a business to fall onto if they choose.
Yeah.
And take it wherever they choose to take it when it's their time.
If America makes it.
Yeah. Well, if not, it becomes a compound.
It could happen.
Right.
Yeah.
You just finish out the berms all the way around.
That's right. Man, the country.
No, it's crazy. Yeah. So speaking of that, politics.
So you mentioned something that was super fascinating. You text me something and said you believed that that libertarian was the most faith.
Libertarianism
say it.
Is the only political party that truly supports Christianity. Not that it exclusively supports Christianity.
Right.
That it's the only one that offers the same level of free will that we were bestowed with.
Right, libertarian free will.
That's it. All the rest of them, there's some dogma you have to toe a line.
Mm.
And if that violates your Christian faith, then here's the political line.
Right. I think a lot of people are probably interested in this because there are so many people that are just, they're kind of done with the two wings.
I don't think enough people are done with it, but yeah, I agree.
Well, I think there is a turning because we were out here on Saturday, and you're going to have a couple diehard right wingers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'm the best of dudes, the best, right? But you are seeing people that are kind of starting to say, and they're saying it because they believe in it, two wings of the same bird. And that is something that happened to me probably around 40, I would say. It doesn't always happen for people like that, but I would say around 40, I had a couple epiphanies. Politics was one of them. And me and you both, I think we probably voted the same way. But the thing that you keep hearing, and I've heard for 20 plus years, is a third party system. It can't work. You can't, it would just ruin everything. And I'm like,
ruin what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The people who are saying this, a third party can never work. Are they saying this because it's a fear thing?
Well, it is that because the Republicans swear to you that the libertarians pull from their vote.
Yeah.
But then the liberals swear that the libertarians pull from their vote.
Right.
But check it out, they're both right. Because in the Libertarian Party, there's more liberal and more conservative people intermingled,
Right.
all agreeing to respect each other's rights, believe it or not.
But is it organized?
No.
Okay.
It is. The Libertarian Party has existed
Right.
since, I want to say, 1972 or 73.
But it's not organized like the big parties.
It is. There's a Libertarian Party
Okay.
convention every year. There's state, parties, which I'm a member of. We go and vote in. I'm a voting delegate in our state elections for the party leadership and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's set up like that. But the problem is libertarianism is the antithesis of that organization. Like,
right,
the highly structured,
the ideology,
highly rigid organization.
Yeah,
and so traditionally, libertarians get about 3% of the vote.
Yep.
Every time.
Yep.
When there's a libertarian on a ticket.
Right.
But here's the thing: is ballot access. Ballot access is a problem because the two parties somehow manage to have say on what other parties, what metrics they got to meet in order to be on the ballot.
Yep. You're right.
And that's wrong. That's a failure.
Yep.
It already costs enough money for a politician to try to.
RFK was a good example of that, right?
Yeah, because that's right.
RFK was that
that's
most
right.
recent example.
Yeah, that's right.
RFK Jr.
And so at the national level, I don't think it's a very realistic endeavor.
But by the way, he had so much support, RFK Jr., that he ended up having a decent amount of sway in the election.
He did, in fact, he did.
And I'm probably
but let's look at that level of sway and that level. That dude is a Kennedy. You got to be at that level of influence.
Or a Tucker Carlson, who's going to probably go third party.
Maybe, but
whatever he's brewing up I don't know if it'll be libertarians.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't follow Tucker Carlson, so I don't know what his latest and greatest sort of philosophy, I guess, is. Yeah. I don't know.
I know that he thinks that the system is broken, and I don't think he is coming up with an idea to use the current two-party system. I think he's talking about.
Well, I think he's already been excommunicated from the conservatives, right?
Well,
or Republicans.
As soon as
there's a
absolutely
chasm of difference between a Republican and a conservative.
That's right. Absolutely.
So people make that reduction. Everybody's narrowed down to the easiest label.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's some kind of anti-war party, because it does seem like
libertarians are anti-war.
Absolutely. Yeah, I am too.
There's T-shirts out there. I'm already against the next war.
Yeah. I want that shirt. Yeah. That's a great shirt. I love that. I've never seen it. I would have already owned
it exists.
Yeah, that's great.
And I agree with it. And not because I'm a pacifist.
Yeah.
But because I don't think I don't think the system in general has the wisdom.
That's good.
To wage just war. And there is such a thing as just war.
I believe that. Absolutely.
I agree with it.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have the wisdom and the patience and the what's the opposite of corruption? I don't think they're
integrity.
I don't think they have the integrity.
Yeah, they don't.
To wage just war.
Yeah.
And I point you to Dick Cheney and Kellogg Brown and Root and all
typically
that
it's
stuff.
wag the dog. Typically the military industrial complex wants a war, and guess what? Ding dong.
And that's
time
a catchphrase,
for profits.
Right? Military industrial. But it's true though. Look,
it is. It runs. Yeah.
If you just stop, if you're a Republican and you just stop for a minute and go, okay, they keep saying military industrial. Well, we need a strong military. Yeah, we do need a strong military. But look at the way the contracts happen. Look at the way the wars are waged versus the way, just billions and billions and billions of dollars.
I went to APAC 12 years ago. My church was sending us up to APAC. Can we talk about this?
Sure.
Okay. Well, American Israeli. Wait
a minute. We're not getting murdered.
No. Policy Affairs Conference. I went up there, and this was one of the things that blew my mind away. Then, this was years ago, 90% of the money that we gave on foreign aid, which the two biggest at the time were Israel and Egypt. 90% of it came back here in military. And I was like, I was literally at this thing. I was like, do people know this?
And when you say in military, though, you mean in military industrial, you mean defense industry, not just military.
That's right.
The defense industry.
So I was like, 90%, I was like, wow. I was thinking, I was like, comes back. Like,
and within that defense industry, you have all the lobbyists who are putting money back into the politician pockets.
It's a gigantic,
vicious cycle.
Oh, horrible. But I don't think most Americans even know that.
Well, the information's out there now, and there's enough. So if we talk about it, somebody's going to say, "Oh, conspiracy theorists."
No, that's fact. That was 12 years ago when I went. It was 90%, and I was told this by officials.
Yeah, it's fact.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
The machine has to keep going.
Are conservatives okay with that?
I don't think a lot of conservatives actually know it. I think a lot of conservatives, unfortunately, just watch the conservative right wing talking.
So it's a case of casually disregarding facts or just not looking into them.
Yeah.
Just accepting
but the media
on the surface level so that you don't have to.
There are some better voices coming about, and you know this because of social media and stuff. You're starting to see some more voices actually get traction.
Yeah, they're out there.
So there is some kind of.
But then when they get traction, some other major outlet tries to drag them, tries to discredit them.
That's right.
And bring up any number of old things, or just spin what they say, and everybody becomes an anti-Semite or a racist or something.
Yeah. Or they go work for the administration, and they come back and it's like, man, what happened to you? You actually have to have some guts. Yeah. You're totally
Politics is so gross and nasty.
It's bad.
And the money it's astronomical.
You can buy elections. Thomas Massey, that is a bought election.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yet somehow Mitch McConnell, that guy can stay up there, but they get rid of Thomas Massey, but Mitch McConnell, who I don't even think the guy's alive.
Yeah.
Who knows? And he's still up there, and they might even vote for him again.
Yeah.
Without a proof of life.
With some aide dude doing all the
Oh man.
It's so gross. It
could be happening here. It could happen in Georgia.
What do you mean?
It does.
Yeah, it does.
I'm saying the same thing that happened in Kentucky by elections.
Fraud. No. The fraud, I've said this 8 million times. As long as there's been elections, there's been fraud. As long as there's been government, there's been fraud. It's just a part of the beast. Unfortunately, it's now an accepted part. Literally back in the day, they would snatch a politician up, tar and feather them, or straight up hang them. It's become, all this stuff's become accepted.
That's right.
Because for a lot of people, there's nothing we could do about it. It's just the way it is. And a lot of libertarian, like the anarchy types. So within the libertarian sphere, there's the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, voting is for chumps. Your vote doesn't do anything. Reject the system. Don't participate. Well, I don't know. Who was it? Epictetus. Somebody said that you may not take interest in politics, but politics takes an interest in you. So you can call yourself not participating in a system. You're participating in a system.
By not participating. Yeah.
There's still a system that you're in.
That's right.
You can do whatever you think your rebellion is. So I do vote, and I think it's much like every other constitutional right. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I vote.
I think voter confidence. I think just in general, just confidence in the system is at an all-time level.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think you're going to see in this next election, you're going to see the data that proves that literally less people voting because they think it's just totally, throwaway.
Yeah. So let's couple that with voter fraud, and that's how you get a one-party rule.
Well, isn't that what we have now? I mean, we kind of have. I mean, it's a uniparty.
In function, yeah.
Yeah.
In name, no, but in function, yeah, essentially it's the same. Yeah. The government. That's what it is. It's
the debt. The
government.
debt keeps going up, and when it's ding dong time for war, it happens.
Yep.
Bad.
It's madness. And then all the noble young men who go and fight and then get smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all noble. And then there's parades, and then there's memorials, when all of it could have been avoided.
Yes.
Could have been avoided.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gross.
Yeah.
Libertarian is the only rational party. And that's not hyperbole. It's the only rational. Look at the party platform. Go to the website and look at the party platform. It's the only rational party.
Do you think it would help if some of the candidates appeared to be more legitimate?
Well, yeah, it would help a little bit, but I think I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I voted for Gary Johnson back in the day in the 16 election.
Yeah. I have friends that
voted for Joe Jorgensen.
Yeah.
I think she's as legit as it comes. Now, I always make jokes that nobody busts balls on libertarians harder than libertarians.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there's the spectrum. So you got purists, and they hammer on the people who are moderate.
Right.
People who want to okay, we can work within the system. We can try to maneuver and make some changes. And then there's these people that's radical. No, we got to destroy the whole thing. And so, but I think Joe Jorgensen's, I hope she runs again. I'm going to vote again. Is she going to get elected? Hell no.
Yeah.
Is there ever going to be a libertarian at the national level? Not for, is it possible? I guess, but since 1972 or 3, that hasn't happened. So,
but the best way in would be local.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. Reasonable people at the local levels, because that's the Democrat strategy.
Yeah.
Except what they do is they take big money, billionaire donors, and they go to select.
They buy influence, right?
They buy influence.
So let me ask you a question. In this current world we have, where you have lots of influencers, and some of them are amazing, incredible, and you see this massive awakening that's happened. I follow a couple people on, just on Instagram, which they're on all the platforms, right? I mean, they're not just on this, they're on all the platforms. And it does seem like, because of information getting out there right now, which is just information's everywhere. I mean, we're not at the information age. I mean, we are at the peak of information. If you want any information,
we've surpassed information. We're at the misinformation.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
All the information's out there. Now we're at the point where it's all being manipulated.
But now there are some voices. Now there are some voices that are out there that are really, really, really
influence.
Powerful.
Yes, they are powerful. Let's look at Rogan, for instance.
Yep. Good example.
Do you think Trump would have been elected without Rogan?
No.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So, the influences are out there, but that's rare, though. Rogan's a rarity.
Yeah.
There's only a couple dudes up in that sphere.
That's right. But I don't think that they are playing the left-right game.
Well, I don't think
anymore.
Rogan is.
Well, I don't think hardly any of them are anymore. Sean Ryan's over it. I mean, you look at the 3 or 4 biggest voices, they are really fed up with the left-right system.
Yeah, I concur with that to a degree.
Now, by the way, talk is cheap, because, I mean, once the election comes around.
No, that's right.
We might find out.
And then one of the social media thing's a double-edged sword as well.
Yes.
Because once you put yourself out there and you've expressed all your opinions, then they start to get used against you later on.
Yep.
And I'm not at that point yet. So
in 2028, maybe.
All 28 people that follow me.
Yeah.
The influencers, if they had truly had it, so it's the platform too, I think.
It is platform, yeah.
Because if they truly had that influence, why wouldn't they run for office?
Yeah.
And do the same? See,
I think that's the next thing. I think the next thing you're going to see is some of these influencers actually go ahead and lay it all on the line. And I think that's what Tucker's getting ready to do. Maybe not him, but I think he's getting ready to go all in on, I want to change the system.
Yeah. Do you think Tucker Carlson has been consistent enough over his public life
Probably not.
to
Probably
avoid all that scrutiny?
But the thing is, though, is if you listen to Tucker, and I don't listen to him religiously, but if you listen to him, he's the hardest on himself. He doesn't claim to be, he just claims to be a guy. He doesn't want any. I mean, if his biggest thing you've heard probably from him is this war cycle has to stop. He's very anti-war.
Well, I'm going to tell you my thing about Tucker Carlson for me, and it's shallow.
Oh, okay.
But when he was, I think, wasn't he on Fox News for a while?
Yeah, he was on all of them. Yeah.
And every time he came on, and he comes off like such a cunt that I want to punch him in his face. Whatever he's saying, it doesn't matter what he's saying.
Yeah.
He was he's a snarky.
He does.
About him.
Yeah, he does.
And I go blank, and all I want to do is punch him in his face.
Yeah.
That's what I think about Tucker Carlson. So I never followed Tucker Carlson.
I know a lot of people that think that same thing.
And so there's that. And I used to think the same about Glenn Beck.
Yeah.
I would agree with some of the things that Glenn Beck had to say, but
Absolutely.
I wanted to punch him in his face.
I'll tell you, the only person I think in the last, and I hope you agree with me on this, but if you don't, you don't. But the last person I think who has just been brilliant and who had zero snarkiness, in my opinion, was Charlie Kirk.
So I agree. Yes, I think Charlie Kirk was legit. I don't think he was snarky. I think he just laid facts out and was just demonized because of the.
Yeah.
I think he was just demonized by the big machine, the left machine.
That's right. Now, some of these people have already peaked. Like, I think Tucker has peaked. I mean, obviously, sorry, Glenn Beck fans. Glenn Beck has peaked. Yeah, but Charlie Kirk hadn't peaked. He was.
No, I think the reason he's dead is because he was
becoming more
legitimate.
Influential. Yeah.
Because he was not all the negative things that they say. He was not those things if you actually listen to what he said.
Right. Yeah.
And he's so cringe. This and that and the other.
Oh, he wasn't.
He just put it out there.
Yeah.
For debate, not just.
Yeah.
So he was more legit.
He was kind
and the fact that he delivered it to crowds that he knew would oppose what he had to say.
That's right.
And then he made proper arguments without belittling anyone.
Yeah.
So we
need more good voices like that.
Yeah, we need good voices like that. And that's just it. How do you have a good voice and not be polarizing these days? How do you bring the left and right? So there's the left and right.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's much of a center as far as all the media and everything goes. I think the reality is there's an enormous center of regular people.
Yeah.
And they just don't participate in this, the theater.
I agree. But the optics are major left, major right.
Because when those regular people pull up Instagram to look at motorcycles and titties and they got some hyperbole, they check out, boom, done.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. So how do you have a rational, influential, if not charming voice to bring to the people where you can pull in? I mean, that guy would be a president, right? You would have to get a guy like that. It ain't Trump. That's the most divisive human being on the planet.
Well, if you think about it too, even in the beginning, right, with Trump, I mean, he did come across as He
was disingenuous.
I know.
This last election, what did they do?
100%.
Libertarian.
Yeah.
They lean hard into libertarian, anti-establishment. Yeah. They got personalities.
Don't you think that's the system? Don't you think like the system just corrupts? That's the reason why it has to be. It has to be more.
The system doesn't corrupt. The system attracts corrupt people.
Absolutely, but it cannot be a person. The hope is not in a person. It has to be a syndicate of people with integrity.
Wow. Yeah. Throw a rock out there and see how many, you hit.
Right. We're probably going to have some kind of reset before that.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind. And that's what you're saying is, it's got to be a syndicate. So that's a party.
Yeah.
So, but even in that, there's got to be somebody to bring them together. Hell, it took Jesus to bring, right?
Right. Well, okay. So let's take it to Jesus. Jesus, if you think about, the coalition he had,
Yeah.
right? Completely self-sacrificing. So that's what you don't have today at all.
And won't.
And you won't.
Nope.
You won't. And I have the philosophy, the belief, not philosophy. I have the belief that it's not going to get better until Jesus returns, until the grand finale, because,
Well, what gives you that belief?
well, I'll tell you the reason why. Why?
Well, it says it in the Bible, pretty much, right?
No. I'll tell you the reason why. I think entropy. Everything is in an eventual state of, just scientifically, and I'm not even Mr. Science guy, but if you look at entropy, everything is losing energy. Everything is in a state of breaking down. And I think, unfortunately, we're just trying to control the breaking down of what's happening. Now, by the way, a reset probably isn't a bad thing. And a reset built around ideas, if it was built around, libertarian ideas, and like, it would be great. But, this is a 250-year experiment that has gone good so far for 250 years, what we have America.
And comparatively speaking, it's still going pretty damn good.
Absolutely, it's going good. So we need another type of, we need some bold people to be willing to experiment.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But we're not finding any more continents.
It takes a charismatic, intelligent, charming person to do that. And who is that? Where is that person? There ain't one. It ain't Tucker Carlson.
No, it's not.
It ain't Joe Rogan. It sure as hell ain't Donald Trump.
No.
And I would love to say that, Barron Trump could come up and become, but the name is already tainted.
It is.
The name is already tainted.
Yeah.
Just like in my mind, the Bush name is tainted.
I think if I had to take a guess about what's going to happen, and this is worth zero, by the way, this is worth less than pennies. But my opinion is the pendulum's going to swing back. This conservatives, they have shot themselves in the foot. And I think it's getting ready to swing back to someone really slick, who really, really, and I think it's going to be Gavin Newsom.
Nah, it ain't going to be.
Well,
I think the pendulum's going to swing. I don't think that's a future clairvoyance. I think if you just look at the ebb and flow
absolutely,
of politics.
Yeah.
But Gavin Newsom's, speaking of tainted, if that guy ever becomes it, we're that's it. We're done.
Well,
we're lost as a nation.
Yeah.
When we've got people talk about Trump being a used car salesman.
Right.
Gavin Newsom is Trump tenfold.
Well, let me tell you let me make my one case for why Gavin Newsom. And by the way, I'm not making a case.
No, I know why.
Him,
go ahead.
I'm making a case for why this guy everyone should literally be worried about him. Charlie Kirk, before he passed, he did a sit-down interview with Gavin Newsom. You can find it. It's out there.
I'm familiar.
He sold him. Charlie was completely defenseless. He even said afterwards, he goes, I was going to get him on this. I was going to get him on this. And he was just unbelievably relatable, almost as if he puts people under a spell. That is scary. And there are people out there who are so good at manipulating that they can win over almost anyone. And I think every once in a while you find people like that. And I think Gavin Newsom has that ability.
I agree.
I mean, the fact after what he did in California, the guy's even around is unbelievable. I mean, he destroyed that state.
I agree.
Man, I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong too. I think I still got just an iota of faith in the American human population.
Yeah.
I think even because in order for him to do what he does, it's got to be this right here. I don't think on a mass scale, everybody just as the masses watching him,
right? He
presents the used car. That guy looks. If you remember in the '80s on all the TV shows when they would show the caricature of the greasy car salesman.
Yes,
that's the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Yeah,
that's the guy.
Yeah, but somehow he's still around. Now, I tell you what I think is important. The people who have the platforms like the Rogans, I think they should not even platform people like, and this is, man, I'm like, this sounds bad because this is the opposite of libertarian. And Joe Rogan can do whatever he wants. But when you know that someone is so slick like that, I think even Rogan has come back out and said, now, I'm not sure if I would interview Trump again because of what it did. It made him peer, right? And he's like, I feel bad that if I even helped a little bit,
Well, he did help a lot.
He did.
I mean, Trump was going to like MMA, UFC stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't just interview. And he didn't give it ain't like a sort of interview where there was some challenge.
Right.
It was a homie interview.
Yeah.
Now, I don't see anything wrong with interviewing Gavin Newsom. If I had Gavin Newsom sitting right here, right now,
you'd bust him, though.
It'd be nonstop.
I was going to say you wouldn't let him get out of it.
It would be nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's going to be interesting to ride the next couple of years.
Nah, it's going to be crazy. That's why local's so important.
Yes.
That's why taking care of your homestead, your people.
Yeah.
That's why your reach is so important. That's why I do these things.
Yeah.
My reach is what I care about. I care about national level stuff.
Yeah.
I care about the future for my grandkids, but
your impact is only so small.
Yeah, right. I'm not a national level player. I don't have that influence. I can make people around me a little better.
Mm-hmm.
I can help a little bit. I can make my grandkids have a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Manly sort of integrity and focus on
not false humility, not false bravado. Yeah.
That they know their role,
mm-hmm.
and not just because it's a traditional Christian role, but because that's nature.
Yeah.
If you reject Christianity, nature still made men.
That's right.
Men,
absolutely.
And men still do what men do. They protect.
You had Stoics that were not faith-based, and they were good men.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think if we operate within our influence, genuine, without trying to manipulate for any other, like I'm always about libertarian stuff, right, with people.
Right.
But if I ever busted your balls on politics, right? Like I'm throwing it out there for you.
Yep.
You can do with it what you will.
Right.
I do the same with Christianity.
Yep.
And that, I don't know, like I said.
I've only seen you ever get preachy about shooting stuff.
Well, yeah.
but the reason why is because, by the way, just to let you know, I do the same exact thing in my business.
Yeah.
Like the reason I'm good at what I do is because there's a few things I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
So I think you should be strong opinion about certain things that you're opinionated about.
Well, for me, and I know it's it's antithetical to say I have some humility and then say, right. But the only thing I feel like I'm really qualified on is shooting guns. Defense stuff, security stuff,
right?
Everything that's on my website, I feel I'm an authority in.
Right.
That's why it's on my website.
That's right.
Because all these things I have a command of.
Right.
So I don't get preachy when it comes to libertarianism. I know a lot about it.
Right. But knowledge is different than experience.
Yeah. Right.
Right. I have 20-something years of experience in my field.
Right. Exactly.
So that's the reason why I have a very strong opinion.
Yeah.
You can be passionate based upon opinion. But don't forget that whole index. You might be up here on Mount Stupid. Yeah. You might need to come back down here.
That's right. So that's why I avoid getting preachy about Christianity.
Yeah.
Now, I have a lot of strong feelings about people who reject Christianity.
Yeah.
Not that I'm judging them, but I think why.
Right.
I think they're confused about why they reject it. Yeah. And I have a lot of strong feelings about libertarian politics. And then the things I do for a living, I feel like I'm an authority. I will have a conversation with anybody at any time to defend everything I do.
And I know you don't go away from a debate on it either. You'll say, hey,
absolutely, 100%.
I've seen you do it.
So, so who do we trust? We need somebody, right, to pull the hell, I don't even know, man. 80% of the population's probably in the middle. That's a guess, but I think you got the fringes on either side that are the most vocal. Yeah. And I think the rest of America probably in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
I think
the big thing is economics. So if you had someone come in, because the thing that everyone feels the pressure of right now is the economy. So, and I think that by the next time the election comes around, economy probably won't be doing much better.
So when you look at polls, people say economy.
Yeah.
But then people vote on shit like abortion and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's because that's how they manage people. That's how they herd people.
No, I know.
They herd people into groups.
But that's what I'm saying. Oh, I think the economy is most important. But then when it comes time to vote, well, I can't vote for the guy who has the best economic plan if he's pro-abortion.
Right.
Or anti-abortion.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm that way where I tell people literally the thing. And by the way, now that I'm becoming more mature and I'm, stepping, in the middle of my 40s, don't know if I'll be using this philosophy, but for a long time, my philosophy was I vote on guns.
Mine too.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the best.
Well, libertarians are pro-gun.
Absolutely.
No, libertarians are pro-liberty.
I have voted libertarian before on local level.
Libertarians are pro-liberty.
I'm not saying I'm going to vote for Joe Jorgensen, but yeah.
Now, look, I just got finished writing up a podcast on abortion. I was going to refrain from that because I got a lot of lefty friends and I got a lot of Christian friends and I got my opinions.
This can be a long conversation.
It's going to be long. Yeah, it's going to be long. And I'm going to lay it out in all the ways, but
you're violating a human's libertarian free will.
Or are you violating a human by murdering them?
That's what I'm saying. You are if you're a true libertarian.
The question all comes down to what you choose to acknowledge when life starts.
Yeah, 100%.
But
even looking at potential, even if you were to look at, hey, that is going to be a person.
Yeah.
That's easy.
You can make stuff up.
Yeah, but you know what that's going to be.
Yeah.
It's like the Bill Burr
to
joke.
Me,
like you pull the cake out of the oven.
No, to me,
that was going to be a cake.
To me, it's an obvious answer.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get into it.
Yeah,
I'll get into it. It's a long ass.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And
go pull in an expert for that one.
Here's the thing. Well, I wish I had somebody I could, but here's the thing is, I've got lefty friends and I've got righty friends. I've got trans friends. I've got all kind of weird friends.
Yeah, you do have some weird.
And the thing is, once I throw my opinion out to the world, they're still going to be my friends because that's the type of friends I have.
Yeah, that's real friends. Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
I don't have a friend that, one guy on my Facebook who's the brother of a friend of mine. Yeah. So me and him follow each other too. We talked about that. If you support the cops in any way, shape, form, or fashion, unfollow me, you fucking piece of shit. Yeah. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. If you support the cops, you're a part of the problem. Unfriend me.
Yeah.
Me and him weren't homies anyway, but I'm just saying that's a childish way to look at things.
Yeah.
Childish way to look at things.
A true friend is loyal. That is
right.
And by the way, he can also, that loyal friend can say, dude, you're in the wrong. But that true friend is not going to drop you. I have two people that come to mind right now. One of them, like I said, he has probably stepped into the role of my close three, right? Two of them come to mind right now. 2 or 3 of them come to mind. And the reason why I would say they're in my top 3 is literally because of loyalty. Now, by the way, not loyalty to Will's right. Heck no. They know Will is not right. They know I make mistakes all the time. Yeah. And a lot of times I get a lot of things wrong. But loyalty to being there for me and caring and not cutting you off. Yeah. A good friend won't cut you off.
That's right. So I got a story on that. I used to be a bike messenger a long time ago. And I was a partner of mine who was a messenger. He was a former Ranger. He jumped into Panama and all that. He got out of the Army. He had a negative experience. I mean, he did the thing and he jumped into Panama, killed Panamanians. I think that scarred him a little bit. But anyway, he got out of the Army, started going to college to be a journalist. That's great. And while he was going to college to be a journalist, he was a bike messenger. I was a bike messenger. And me and him became homies. And we'd go to Stein Club, drink beers almost every night after work. His wife hated me. Me and my wife weren't married yet, and we lived separately. She hated me too. But anyway, Drew is his name. I won't say his last name, but Drew. Me and Drew were good homies. We drank and fight with other people.
Right.
Ride bikes in the wee hours of the morning.
It's awesome.
Wake up in weird spots. Well, all the things. And over the years, I went back in the Army. I tried to talk him into going back in the Army with me. Anyway, I went back in. And then multiple years later, I was in Germany, a Green Beret already. And he happened to be in Germany writing a story he worked for like Knights Ritter. He worked for like Stars and Stripes. He worked for different outlets. And he was in Germany doing something. So we got together and hung out. But years later, we were in Atlanta, went and hung out at the Claremont Lounge and had beers and reminisced. And we were good buddies, man. And then on the social medias, man, over time, he started drifting like hard left on politics.
Yeah.
And I would bust his like I do.
Yeah.
I'd just bust his balls.
Yeah.
Or I'd make a joke. He'd say something, blah, blah, blah. I'd make a joke on it.
Yeah.
Be done with it. That went on for a while. And one day, man, he hit me up and he's like, just don't
delete my number.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
man.
I hate that.
And I was like, over politics, like it's just you're rude about it. Every time I put something on, you do a clown emoji or I'm like, Drew, you're eliminating a decades-long friendship over politics.
Yeah.
He went so hard left, and that's what hard left does.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard right too.
Well, hard right too. They put you have to toe the line.
That's right.
You have to you have to be pure dogma.
Yeah.
No crossover. Heaven forbid.
Conversation stops on the far extremes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I think
and he cut me off, and it hurt me deep.
Yeah.
It hurt me deep.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like
good friendships can get past a disagreement.
Yeah, and I thought we were that.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, you probably were until he got pulled so far to the polarizing left.
Pulled so hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My mom lives in Germany. And she is she's maybe the most anti-Trump I've ever met of a human, ever. And so, of course, over the years, I have, I don't know where I land right now, right? Like you said, talk about, I'm probably somewhere in the middle right now where I believe that we need to continue having the conversation. But my mom is over here on the far left. She's my mom. I mean, the Bible says, honor your father and your mother. That's a non-negotiable, right?
Right.
Like there is not anything in the world that can cut off that conversation between me and her. Now there's some things we don't talk about, but our love for each other, which by the way, that's really what friendship is. It's based upon mutual love and respect.
Yeah.
So I have mutual love and respect, and also too, she's my mom.
Yeah.
So there's a deep seated love. But how many times do people get petty and do that? Like, how many people cut off? There is no hope for that. So every American who's listening to this that is cutting off people because of their views, you are part of the problem.
No, that is a problem.
You can't have the conversation anymore.
And not only the views, but especially when it's centered around just a personality.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Trump's a divisive person.
Absolutely.
Like him or hate him.
Yeah.
He's going to be gone soon.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And now you've lost a friend.
That's great. That's so true. But we don't look past that. Dude, there's
horrible,
so much
man.
wisdom in what you just said.
It's horrible.
Yeah, you're right.
And I miss Drew.
Same thing with the frickin' football team. People do the same thing over team. Oh, don't you, you got this jersey on, and we do the same exact thing. Don't you even talk about that team around me. We do the same thing, but you're right. Like that's these bonds and friendships have to be you have to have the long game in the picture.
I got a funny little anecdote to what you just said was wisdom. A friend of mine, his name was Clint. Anyway, we went through the Q course together, or we went through training together he went to the Q course before. Anyway, we were sitting at the brew house. What was the name of the place in Fayetteville? Anyway, it was like a brew pub thing. And he was meeting a girl. He was single. And he was kind of hipster. And at this time, this was way back, he had his pants rolled up, cuffed a little bit. And the girl comes in, smoke show, hot, sits down, and she giggles and says something about his pants. And he's like, and I say, Clint, if you roll those pants down, I'll bust your balls. Don't let a woman dictate your fashion.
That's great.
She's going to be gone soon. I'm going to be here forever.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? You're right.
That's good.
And she looked at me all pissy.
That's good.
She lasted a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. What's permanent in your life?
Right.
You're willing to cut that loose
Absolutely.
over because Trump's an asshole?
Yeah. So true.
Golly, man.
Well, I'll even throw the faith thing in there too. Mama, even though she's a raging, anti-Trump or whatever, she's a Christian. She loves the Lord. So if I was to throw the eternal aspect on it, talking about permanent. So the faith aspect makes things go from, pretty permanent, what looks like lifespan, right? But when you throw the faith thing in there, it throws a whole nother thing of true permanence because, we believe in being with the Lord afterlife.
Well, that's just it. It's all so much deeper than just politics.
It absolutely
But politics is the thing that divides people so much. So we got to learn to take it for what it is. Yeah, I think two-party system sucks. Yeah. It's not going to ruin my life. Do you know what I mean?
You're not going to separate from a friend based on that.
It may attempt to curtail my rights here and there or whatever, but ultimately it's not going to ruin my life.
Yeah.
Two-party politics is not going to ruin my life.
No.
Losing a friend, that chips away at my life a little.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, there's that.
It's good.
All right, buddy. Final word. We're about an hour and a half. That's crazy.
It's good. Been an easy conversation. The way it should be.
Oh, man. We could go on and on. What you got? Final wisdoms for the world. Oh, like I said, the 28 people that listen.
Final wisdoms. Man, I would just say just be a good friend. Just simple. Just be a good friend. If you're looking for good friends, just be a good friend.
That's it, man.
I think this world, we just need to find some good homies to do life with. Just be a good friend. Find things that unite. You're going to find things, I think, unite around common beliefs. And they can't be just interest. Interests are one thing, but beliefs are rooted in conviction. So even talking about, libertarianism, that's more than an idea, right? Those are some deep held beliefs. So I think interests are important, by the way, but there will be a time where you don't go to the gym. That's an interest. Fitness is a little more. There's some ideas behind it. So if you can meet with people and you guys have common held beliefs, that's going to make true, good, long-lasting friendships.
Yeah, and it transcends the hot topics.
Yeah, mutual respect for each other. And man, don't cut a friend off. I mean, we can all think about people, and we can probably also think about ways that we have been, man, I just can't talk to that person anymore. Well, come on. Put a little effort into it. Okay.
Yeah. Just be a good homie.
Yeah. Be a good homie.
All right, man.
That's a good takeaway.
That's good. Be a good homie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. It's been pretty good. Pretty good one. Good people. Thank you so much for listening. As always, go to all the websites, ospreyshoesolutions.com. That is now the central hub for firearms training, security consulting, and leadership and teamwork development. And then, of course, there's thejutopodcast.com. And then if you feel so charitable, please consider giving to givesendgo.com/help a homie fund so that we can help those in immediate need around in our reach. All right, good people. Thanks so much for listening. I love you guys.